First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is news and prophecy. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we get started, I have a few news articles, but we'll start here first. This one by ABC News. And it reads, it said, Iran rejects Trump request for direct nuclear negotiations, state media reports. So we already knowing that Iran reject this nuclear negotiation, they about their nuclear program. So we already knowing that America don't want Iran to have nuclear capability, and also Donald Trump was warning that there will be consequences. That there is already rumors that they are trying, saying that there is a possibility they will go into Iran. But we already knowing once they do that, we already know that Russia and China will get involved. I'm bringing this out again because this is, this constantly popping up in the news. And we're constantly seeing all these nations are what? Preparing for war. We know that war is imminent. We're seeing that the war drums are constantly beating left and right. Military build up all across the world. The Lord is constantly gathering the nation. We're seeing that we're in that transition to power. Also, we know that we're at the end of an age, end of an eon. That transition to power is taking place right before our eyes. We're very excited. We're so very excited, but we know that the Lord is very close. The Lord is getting ready to come to deliver us. We cannot wait, man. So let's go here. Let's just get a little bit of this. I ain't gonna do too much reading tonight because I have a dry throat. It says here, Tehran has rejected direct negotiation with the United States, said in regarding its nuclear program, responding to a letter from President Donald Trump. Said Iranian President Mossad Pezeshkian said Sunday, according to the Islamic Republic news agency. However, he added the path for indirect negotiation remains open, said the state news agency reported. So we're seeing right now that, negotiation behind negotiation, peace talks here and there. When they say what? Peace and safety, then what? Total destruction will come upon them. So we already knowing that, these prophecies are very lining up like clockwork. Also is, things that was happening right now is very prophetic, and these things going to constantly increase. So we're seeing right now that the Middle East is constantly increasing. Also, we keeping our eyes on Israel, and one thing about it, we already knowing that things are getting ready to escalate as we speak. Declaration of wars are all over the place. War is imminent. So let's go to this one right here. Let's go to this one here. Just a few things that I seen through the spirit. It said Diego Garcia says here, and this one here is by the Middle East Eye, said Diego Garcia said the Indian Ocean base the U.S. can use to target Iran. So they constantly, I think they're doing military builder over there. I think these B-2 bombers. Just a little of this what we trying to get here. It said Diego Garcia, the Indian Ocean base, said the U.S. can use to target Iran, but it's already was rumors that Iran said if they're trying to set up on this, I think this is an island in the Indian Ocean over there, and if they set up over there, they saying that they will bomb the hell out of them. So, man, we're seeing left and right. These things are going back and forth, so we are here, any given day. These things can go down. They said, let's read a little bit of it. Say U.S. is amassing B-2 bombers capable of carrying 30,000 pounds of bunker buster bombs at a little known base in the Indian Ocean. So, America trying to set up shop on Iran, but one thing about it, they're in for a rude awakening. So you see that B-2 bomber, I think they used this in the when they went in for I think for the Yemen, and then also I think that there's a storm that I think they used it also, if I'm not mistaken. But we're seeing right now that, they're constantly preparing for war. So they're setting up on this, I think this is an island, if I'm not mistaken. I got a video on it too. Let's read a little bit more. It said, and also this is an air base that belongs, I think, to America. I think America have an air base on this island, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to jump ahead of the gun. Let's read a little bit more. It said the air base the U.S. may use if it decides to bomb Iran nuclear facilities, said is a speck of an island in the Indian Ocean. Said that few associate with the Middle East, but Salakia said, but that the U.S. has used for decades to project military power in the region. So that's all we're gonna get of that. So we're seeing right now that America's trying to set up base in Iran backyard, but there already is rumors that if they set up, that Iran said they are going to bomb them. So man, we are so very close. That's why we got to stay prayed up. We got to constantly be watching. The proof man what foresees the evil. We're here. Things could escalate at any given time. So let's see what else it says here. It said throughout this week, the U.S. has been amassing B-2 bombers, stealth aircraft used for precision strikes that can invade air defense systems at Diego Garcia, an island that roughly is 700 kilometers south of the Maldives, said which is home to a joint U.S.-UK military base. So we're seeing right now that that World War III can start at any given time. Anyone could trigger this. Something could happen. All of a sudden. That's why we're constantly warning you left and right. And one thing about it, whether you believe it or not, these things are happening right before our eyes. We're seeing that the Lord is constantly gathering the nation. We're seeing that the Lord is constantly putting the chess pieces together. Seeing this right here. So we are very, very close to World War III. I'm saying? The Lord is very close. Our salvation is at the door. Salaki for that. I'm just very excited. I'm in the spirit, seeing all these things. So right here, we're just going to read off a few of these in the, this right here is a news break. I always go to this. It's pretty accurate. I'm just going to read off a couple of them. I'm not going to go into any of these articles because my voice is very dry tonight. It says here, U.S. start producing nuclear warheads 24 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bombs. Wow, what are they preparing for? So we already know that America is getting ready to get their asses knocked off. These missiles are getting ready to fly. These IBCM missiles. So things are getting ready to get critical. Also, it's already rumors that they're already putting these sleeper cells in position as we speak. America is going to be invaded. While you are relaxing in your leaves, these devils are constantly setting up shop. We're seeing that happening right before our eyes. So now, let's drop down here. Something else I want to see. It said, Salaki. It said, World War III, new polls lays bare growing U.S. fear over all-out attack by China or Russia. So it's already been prophesied when you go to Ezekiel chapter 38. These things are constantly lining up just like clockwork, man. I'm telling you, the Bible is faithful and true. Let's go to this one right here. Just we see something, we say something. The Lord has set up watchmen to warn you, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. Let's get this one right here. It said Trump reveals he's not joking about becoming a dictator. That cruel law, and and just like when you go to Isaiah chapter 19, I think it's around verse 4, that he's going to be that cruel Lord, so we're seeing that right now, that he's constantly setting up this NWO. Let's see what else we got here. And we're gonna go to some video. It said Trump threatening a third term could open the door for a historic face-off with Obama. So, hey, man, we have to wait and see. We got to measure the time diligently. We already know this red devil got a lot of things up his sleeve, so the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. And also we keeping our eyes on China and Taiwan. It says here, China launches military drills around Taiwan. So we already knowing that these things are getting ready to go down. So we are very close, man. I think that's all I'm going to get out of this one here. I might see something else. And also about these earthquakes, it's a lot of these earthquakes been happening, I think, in the Tonga Islands, also in Thailand, just the other day, so earthquakes in diverse places. So a lot of destruction, a lot of calamities that get ready to happen. China launches military drills around Taiwan, called Taiwan president a parasite. So, man, just pretty much repeating what I said, but we're seeing right now that war is imminent. Declaration of wars are all over the place. The war drums are beating. The Lord is gathering the nation. So now let's go here to the today's video. And after the videos, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
Does not make a nuclear deal. You can see this being updated just 3 hours ago. Also, Trump threatens to bomb Iran unless they end nuclear weapons program and begin talks on a new deal. Iran, we are hearing, has rejected the offer of direct U.S. negotiations over rapidly growing nuclear programs. So that is why we are hearing that there are threats of bombings, because this offer of negotiations has been rejected. Iran and the U.S. threat of war, 5 things to watch. Now, this coming out 2 days ago before we had this divulged here, and that is that Iran is rejecting this, and now there are threats of bombs being dropped in the Middle East. And take a look at this. Iran warns the U.S. against strikes, slams Israel strikes on Beirut. This is 3 ways right here: the United States, Israel, and Iran. And take a look. Iran threatens to strike the U.S. bases, and it says they will blow up the Middle East if Trump launches a military action over a nuclear deal, which we're hearing today. This is the exact threat that is coming out, as American stealth bombers, they are being deployed to Chagos Island. We are hearing there are a lot of bombers from the United States that are now in the Middle East. So I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage, the headlines, the articles, so that way you can see it for yourself, as we're hearing things have escalated and fast, as Trump is threatening to bomb Iran over nuclear disputes that are currently taking place.
We're down to the final moments. We're at final moments. Can't let them have a nuclear weapon. I think that I would have had a deal within 1 month after the rigged election of 2020. They were all set to make a deal. It's an interesting time in the history of the world, but we have a situation with Iran that something's going to happen very soon. Very, very soon. You'll be talking about that pretty soon, I guess. And hopefully we can have a peace deal. I'm not speaking out of strength or weakness. I'm just saying I'd rather see a peace deal than the other. But the other will solve the problem.
We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
American B-2 stealth bombers are in the region. They landed in Diego Garcia. It's a remote island in the Indian Ocean. It serves as a joint base for the UK and the US, and it has been a hub of intense activity of late. The first reports came from open source flight trackers. They tracked unusual movement involving at least 7 B-2 bombers. These planes took off from Missouri in the US, from the Whiteman Air Force Base, and they flew non-stop to Diego Garcia in Africa. And they weren't alone, these planes. They were joined by 3 C-17 cargo planes and 10 aerial refueling tankers. That's some serious aerial movement. The US has 20 B-2 bombers in total, 20 bombers. Now, 30% of that fleet is in Diego Garcia.
Breaking news, an unconfirmed report is surfacing of what exactly was written in the letter Trump wrote to Iran's leader, Khamenei. Here is what the letter says. Your Excellency Ayatollah Khamenei, with respect for your position and the people of Iran, I write this message to you with the aim of opening new horizons for our relations, far from the years of conflict and misunderstandings we have witnessed in past decades. The time has come to abandon enmity and open a new chapter based on mutual cooperation and respect. Today, too, there is a historic opportunity before us. The United States, under my leadership, is ready to take a major step toward peace and easing tensions. We can work together to lift sanctions, empower the Iranian economy, and open the doors of cooperation between our countries. This is not only in the interest of our peoples, but also in the interest of stability and peace in the Middle East and the entire world. But I warn you, if you reject this outstretched hand, and if the Iranian regime chooses the path of escalation and continued support for terrorist organizations and military adventures, then our response will be decisive and swift. We will not remain idle in the face of your regime's threats to our people or our allies. Peace is not weakness. It is the choice of the strong. The Iranian people are a great people who deserve a better future, far from isolation, poverty, and suffering. If you are ready to negotiate, we are ready too. But if you persist in ignoring the demands of the world, history will record that you missed a tremendous opportunity. With respect, what do you think of this? Let us know.
Well, I hope you guys been paying attention. Here goes my big warning video. We have Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, urging their citizens to prepare for war, cyber attacks, and extreme weather. There's also countries like Albania, all the way over to the United Kingdom, also France, and the Nordic countries as well, also warning their citizens to get ready for war. They are encouraging them to stockpile at least 72 hours of emergency kits, and even encouraging citizens to convert basements into bunkers. They are recommending basic emergency supplies such as bottled water, canned food, torches, batteries, first aid kits, and echoing Cold War era civil defense strategies, getting civilians ready for war. We also have Putin getting ready to call up 160,000 Russians for conscription as the world is getting worried about a world war. We have Poland reporting that they're considering bringing back the military conscription amid a threat of war with Russia. They also said they were going to introduce military training for every adult male. We have Denmark saying they're going to draft women into the military by 2026 amid growing Russian threat. And this was supposed to take place down the line. They sped up this operation. Ain't that a coincidence? We have Germany saying that they're getting ready for conscription return amid Russia's growing threats. So a lot of these countries are getting ready for something big. Like, they're really getting their citizens ready for war, and they're talking about drafting them up too. No, United States, we're not out of the touch either, because once we go to war with Iran, then y'all already know some of us might be drafted up too. I don't know if it's going to go that far, but it is possible. They're talking about war with Russia. A war with Iran will be big too. And of course, don't forget about the war with China, which they just said they will protect Taiwan from. So that's another area that's been brewing up as well. And this report came out today. There's a lot going on. And yeah, they keep saying stock up for 3 days, but I'd advise you to stock up for at least a couple months worth, or at most a couple years, because we don't know how bad this is going to get. Of course, they're going to tell people to stock up lower so they can keep shit on shelves for everybody else. But at the same time, once people get a note of what's going on, those shelves are going to be empty and everybody's going to be out there buying shit. So get stuff while you can and be smart. Anyways, more news next.
So, we already know, we've been hearing already about, it could be a possible draft coming. So it's very close. These things are picking up left and right. So we'll start here. And also, we know that all hell is getting ready to break loose in the middle of the law. We're constantly warning you left and right, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. We'll sound like a broken record, but hey, one thing about it, these are the times that we're living in, the end time, real time. So we'll start here. 2 Peter chapter 6 and verse 6 said, "Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other by me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Who is this talking about? Yahweh Shah Mashiach, you know what I'm saying, the beginning and the ending, the Alpha and the Omega. So the Lord is getting ready to end this what? The world as we know it, you know, what the age, you know what I'm saying, the eon, this period, you know what I'm saying, one thing about it, this wicked queendom. The Lord's getting ready to end all this. It's not the end of the entire earth. A lot of people like to try to say that it's the end of everything that we know and see. No, it's just the end of this man's rulership. The Lord is getting ready to usher in our rest. You know what I'm saying? That dwells in righteousness, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven. You know, so the Lord's getting ready to return. You said, behold, every eye shall see him, even the one that pierced him. So we are very close to that time. The Lord's getting ready to return. That's what we constantly asking the Lord, you know, left and right. How long, O Lord? And so Ezra asked this right here in verse 7, said, Then answer I and said, so what shall be the appointed asunder of the times? So, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? So one thing about it, you know, what shall be the end of the first, you know, which in fact this age of this eon we in right now, and the beginning of it that follow, you know, that is the kingdom of heaven that dwells right. It's gonna tell it in verse 9. So I don't want to jump the gun. So that's what, you know, we constantly, you know, looking for the signs of the time. We're constantly measuring the time diligently. Everything is lining up just like clockwork. Rumors of war, earthquakes in diverse places, nation arise against nation, blood moons, eclipse, you know, it's great signs, fearful sights from heaven. A lot of things are constantly happening left and right, man. We constantly seeing it left and right. You know what I'm saying? Volcanic activity, you know, earthquakes in diverse places. Rumors of wars are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Man, we're here. Verse 8, it said, and then said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac. So when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand held first the heel of Esau. That's symbolic that we're going to take him down in the end time with this word, with this wisdom, this gospel. So, you know, when Esau came out, Esau was the first one to come out. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jacob held the heel of Esau, you know, symbolics that we are going to bring him down with this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, you know what I'm saying, that only come from who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 9 said, for Esau is the end of the world, the end of this age, the end of this eon, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we are in that transition of power. And one thing about we knowing that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So now let's go here. So everything is set into motion. You know, a lot of people right now still going on with their daily lives like it's nothing going to happen, but it's going to happen right before your eye. You know what? We're living in the days of Noah. We're seeing these things that happen real time, but not by water this time, but by fire. IBCM missing also that laser and chariot fire from who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Of Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4 said, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and they shall, and there was given unto him a great sword. So this horse, you know what I'm saying, he was given great power. You know, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And one thing about it saying what's red. And you know what I'm saying, when you go to Genesis chapter 25 verse 25, the first one came out red. Who is this talking about? Esau, Edom, the modern day so-called Caucasian man, or the so-called white man, or the red man of Genesis chapter 25. Peace was, power was given unto him. Job chapter 9 and verse 24 to take, peace from the earth, you know what I'm saying? And out about it, and also, he has power to kill. And one thing, his blessing, when you go to Genesis chapter 27 and verse, I think 38 through 40 would tell you about his blessing, which in fact is that sword. So he's getting ready to use his sword in a big way, his military, his technology, and also his greatest sword, which in fact are these IBCM missiles. He already saying that things can go nuclear. We're seeing that they're building up on that island where I can't think of it, I can't pronounce it right now, but that island, Grego Garcia. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. My tongue is so dry, and so lucky for that for the night, but I'm going to do better through the spirit and power. Yeah, how about you, my child? But one thing about it is that it says right here, it says should kill one another, and they was given. And it said, and there was given unto him a great sword. So, man, we're very close. Let's read this again. I kind of butchered it a little bit. He said, and there went out another horse. Horse represent power. And that was red, representing what? The modern day so-called white man. And power was given unto him. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Job chapter 9 and verse 24. That sat thereon, said, to take peace that's what's getting ready to happen. All hell is getting ready to break loose when they say peace and safety from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So he's getting ready to use that sword in a big way. That's why we ask the Lord, disappoint him, Lord, cast him down. Get his ass out of here. Lord is getting ready to cut him off. So that's where we at right now. They're constantly preparing for what? For war. And one thing about it, this man have power to kill, but he only have a certain time to rule. He have bounds that he cannot pass. So we're in that transition of power right now. And one thing about it, that's why he's moving in warp speed. So let's go here to Second Ezra. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter. Just not meant to be a long lesson tonight. Just running through the scriptures. Second Ezra. Oh my, that's where that's at. Second Ezra chapter 7. We'll start up at verse. Let's start up at verse 33, and then we'll jump around a little bit. Second Ezra chapter 7, verse 33 said, "So and the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end." So that's where we at, we're at the end of this age once again. And one thing about all this suffering and all this wickedness, this tribulation, it's getting ready to pass away. And the Lord is what right now, is sitting on that seat of judgment, on the judgment seat. The Lord's getting ready to judge this place. Recompense and judgment is right upon us. So we seeing right now that's what is happening. You know what I'm saying? This is this nightmare is getting ready to come to an end. So like it. Tongue is very dry. I don't have anything to drink. It says in verse 34, said, but judgment only shall remain. Truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong. So we already know that's what's happening right now. We seeing right now, the truth is being declared. And one thing about it, the truth has been so long without fruit shall be declared. So we seeing it's waxing stronger and stronger. The vibration is changing. We seeing right now the Lord is constantly setting things right back size up. Thing goes upside down, but now the Lord's putting that righteous order back in place right before our eyes. Verse 35 said, "So and the work shall follow, and the reward shall be shown. So and the good deeds shall be of force, and the wicked deeds shall bear no rule." So that's what we're coming upon, left and right. The Lord is setting it back in order. And one thing about it, we cannot wait. Let's go to this right here. We'll probably close out right here. Let's go here. Let's start up right here. Verse 43 said, "But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, the end of this age, the end of what this eon, the end of what Eson rulership." It said, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. So one thing about it, we already know that, that Esau is the end of this earth age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. And one thing at the beginning of immortality for who? For what? Yasharala, which in fact starting with what? The elect, the other that got destroyed on the side, which in fact are the 2/3, they're going to get it on the other side when they be reborn into the kingdom. So we already know that we're very close to that time, so we're living in some very exciting times. So the day of doom is fast approaching. We're almost at that sad measure. We at the end of the world, the end of an age. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we are constantly rejoicing, watching, praying, redeeming the time, man. We're here. Second Ezra chapter 7 and verse 43 said, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of immortality. The kingdom of heaven is fast approaching for to come. So wherein corruption is past. So it's getting ready. Hey, we getting ready to go into the new kingdom. It won't be no more corruption. We getting ready to put on the incorruption. The corruption is getting ready. We get ready to take off the corruption and put on the incorruption. And so like I hope I want confusion or what. Confusing anyone. So this is like what you call a transition of power. Let's read it once again. It said, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, this age, and the beginning of the immortality to come. Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness, for to come wherein corruption is past. And one thing about it, we're going to have to take off this corruption and put on incorruption, those new bodies, immortality, rulership, spiritual power is very close at hand. The Lord's getting ready to give us power over the nation. So we're seeing right now that the war drums is beating. We already know that Babylon the Great is going to fall with what? Much violence. That's the way the Lord is constantly bringing it to a close. And one thing about we're seeing that these things are constantly picking up. It's getting more very prophetic, left and right. Also, it was a rumor that I think it was Putin. I think it was a limousine, motorcade. One of his limousines got hit with some type of explosive, if I'm not mistaken. I seen that too. So many things that's constantly going on left and right. Let's close out here in First Thessalonians. Let's close out here. First Thessalonians chapter 5. You know what I'm saying? We go straight to the point. We'll close out. First Thessalonians chapter 5, and we'll go straight to the point. We close out here because this is what they're constantly talking about. Peace deal, ceasefire, you know what I'm saying? Come to some type of deal or negotiation or whatever like that, where there will be no peace. Let's read this. It said, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3, it said, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen, you know what I'm saying? Destruction like they have never seen before. And also we know that World War III is constantly getting closer and closer. That's why we're constantly, you know what I'm saying, watching. That's what we're constantly redeeming the time. We're constantly getting our house in order, girding up our loins, and get prepared for what? For greatness, and also the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Our salvation is at the door. Even though that will sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. Also, famine of the word is fast approaching. The MOTB, Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. We goes over these things left and right. And one thing about it, you know what I'm saying, your faith is getting ready to be tried. And one thing about it, the Bible is a true book once again. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is News and Prophecy. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, Shalom.